And welcome to a great Broncos win. Go Broncos. Wait, this is the wrong podcast. This is the SanAntonio FC Fancast. Sorry, Broncos playing the Cowboys. I know a lot of our listeners are Cowboy fans. Sorry, AJ, City, Barcelona losing. We lost Rafa. Couldn't handle, or Jonathan, sorry, that City lost today. Rafa with his Real Madrid win. I'm sure Club America won, and whoever fan he is. Matt, your Chiefs, how'd they do?
They play tomorrow.
Oh, they play tomorrow.
Hey,
Nobody
United
cares
won.
about the Chiefs, huh?
United won.
Man United have won 3 in a row.
Yeah,
Moving up in the table.
they ain't going far. I still think they need to get relegated.
They're not getting relegated.
Unfortunately. It's happened before.
That's what I'm saying. I think they deserve it. They need it.
Sam, Tottenham. Yes, Tottenham did roll Royce's Everton team. Maybe that's why Royce isn't here. His Everton got rolled out. 2 more wins and that guy can cut his hair.
Damn.
Jason, how are you doing in Portland? Timber Garcia. So, Rafa named the show Redemption, and then of course his internet, it looks like here, has said, "I'm not redeeming anything right at the moment here." So let's start with you, Matt. How are you doing this evening?
Trying to recover, man. Got stuck in the dang gas chamber with all that smoke. So
5 goals, yeah. Well, 5 goals will
dude,
do that for you.
but no, what made me mad was they did 4 on the first goal. That's what got me. 4 on the first goal.
Didn't expect there to be 5, I guess.
I really didn't.
It's cold and raining. Nobody had SAFC getting more than 2 goals. So, me and Royce did a show yesterday, kind of going over the 4 losses. All right, here, let me go to Jonathan. I didn't welcome you. Jonathan, welcome. You did the tour around the 4 losses. Didn't get to see a goal. Saw lots of sights. A lot of family bonding with the family. Come home, got rewarded with 5 goals. How are you? How is the media space? I'm assuming this week, with it being a playoff week, there might be a little bit more fun for you.
I mean, you say that maybe a little more fun. I don't know. If you're expecting like more people to be coming out, though, I don't know. I mean, I remember I think it was 2022 for the final, 2 days before, biggest match in SAFC's history, and it was the same people there. It was me, Express News, and KSAT. So, I mean, it's probably going to be pretty normal. And for what it's worth, the team, this came up multiple times post game and even before the match, is kind of, this is do or die. This is essentially an early playoff match. That's how they were approaching it. So, but no, I mean, for me, I guess, I don't know. It was an interesting trip. About 4,000 miles all told, with all the different places we went, and then back home. And
No goals?
yeah, luckily managed to do some interesting things along the way. I think the thing that I've told a few people is we've gone and toured like some state capitals, the Capitol buildings, and Kansas's is pretty standard, but they do have kind of an extra tour where you can hike an extra 296 steps up to sort of the very top of its rotunda and look out from the top. So that was kind of neat. Got some good exercise that day.
So, and I do want to give a shout out to Rudy Campos and Elias with Sweep the League. They now do the Sports Answer, which is on youtube.com at The Answer Now TV. Through that here, they're very supportive of our show, very supportive of SAFC. So shout out to Rudy. Campos Jr., one of the hard workers, and through here. So, Rafa, are you on Real Madrid internet or Barcelona internet? Because it seems like you're on Barcelona internet tonight, where it keeps coming in and out.
Yeah, I'm not La Nina crybaby. No, I guess no action, no nothing, all talk. Shout out to Leja, a la Madrid, nada más.
I will admit AJ's feeling a little rough today.
Little blue.
For little blue, because he went with one of his friends to. Well, he's at Sporty now, and one of his friends is a Real Madrid fan. And as soon as he got in the car, hey, did you watch the game today? He just like shut up. Rafa, you're in town for this week, or because you've been out and about. I think out and about just as much as SAFC and scored as many goals.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks. Yeah. So I'm in town this week. Actually, I'll be at AG's stomping grounds tomorrow. By the
I'll have to
library.
let him and Anna know.
Let him wear my Real Madrid scarf for the day.
So there is one thing that me and Royce didn't get to, and that was the SAFC announcement versus Darmstadt, March 25th at 7:30, Toyota Field. I believe it's a Wednesday right at the start of the season. So if you're a season ticket member, I have a feeling this will probably be in your one of your games. I believe they'll have this open to fans to be able to buy tickets to. Hopefully, we can have a good showing here. Typically, if you're a season ticket member, they'll have a practice that you're going to be able to attend to prior as well. Of course, SAFC will release those details, but the last time they've had international friendlies, they have had that through here. Any thoughts on SAFC announcing the international friendly in March?
Probably that game. I was surprised that we didn't play them this year. You would think they would probably.
Yeah, I think it's your internet, Rafa, because you're coming back in and out.
Yeah, it's not Barcelona.
The other big news and I know Royce touched base on it because he's president of the Juan Agudelo fan club. We did not get to see him, but Juan Agudelo, U.S. men's national team fame, 2 seasons with SAFC with that here, is hanging up his career, as well as a couple other veterans that we've talked about, Rodrigo Lopez, Forrest Lasso, Leo Fernandez from the Rowdies, Daniel Bruce from New Mexico, although I hate how New Mexico highlighted Daniel Bruce. Just, I understand promoting your guy, but how they did it, just,
it was goofy.
Sam knows Agadelo's name next year, bro. We all know his name next year. It's gone, all right? He's gone. We can get somebody else.
Yeah.
That one. I'm gonna choose my words wisely today.
I'm looking forward to you guys figuring out who the scapegoat's going to be next year.
We're going undefeated, man. Well, now we get into the silly season of will teams be back and will teams not be back, and new additions to the USL Championship family. Corpus Christi comes in League One next year, so that'll be kind of interesting for that here. Shout out to Rojo. Generally a good guy, I agree, Sam. Injuries, we'll let you take this here, Jonathan, because there were a lot of changes that came positive this one compared to the last few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think Carlos Humosa had alluded to it after the loss in Phoenix, how they were expecting to get a few more players back, and understandably, last match of the regular season, possibly the last match of the year if results don't go your way, if you don't do the job yourself. So anyone who's maybe I don't know, 80, 85, 90, 95, 99%, maybe made available for at least a few minutes, just in case you absolutely need them. So you still had Andres Paredes, Alex Cronale, and Jake LaCava out, but Diego Pacheco, Nelson Flores Blanco, and Juan Agudelo were all available again. So, a few more options, looking at that particularly, a couple more attacking options with Blanco and Agudelo. So, more options, but like I said in my preview, it's not, it's got to be quality over quantity. Having more players to choose from, having more guys back doesn't necessarily mean everything's suddenly going to be a lot better. You've got to perform, whoever is out on the field at any given time.
And I think Royce is joining us. Like I said, when we set these up, we have Royce time for that here. We just never know what that Royce time is going to be. So we shoot for 8 o'clock, 8:10 ish for that here. But all kidding, Royce. I was just going to get to our show we had yesterday afternoonish, right before I had to go to Costco because you cursed me with that. We had two predictions, or we had two things SAFC had to do. One was set pieces, and two, for me, they had to do an early goal. However, in the 7th minute, El Paso got the early goal with the corner repelled a couple of times with Cavillo hit it, got it into Armando Moreno. So I was sitting next to Royce. I was like, I called an early goal, but not for El Paso. I was like, oh no, here we go. Rafa, your thoughts, and we'll see if your Barcelona internet will hold up here. You might need to get some boosters, in the apartment there. But your thoughts on El Paso coming in and getting the first goal, set next to Royce. He felt it coming even before they scored.
Yeah, that was the last thing you wanted to happen. You wanted to kind of set the tone, and that it looked like bad marking. That's been what this series has been all about. Not paying to the details on things. And kudos to El Paso for opportunity goal in. So, and you can feel also when we scored, you can feel the stadium kind of got. They're like, oh, here we go again, your night. You sense that, but things changed. But later on after that, but this is like I said, it's something that we have not learned from or fixed. I don't know where people.
Yeah, free.
So here's just really quickly on that point. Here's what I find funny. Royce, you got the right answer for the wrong reason. I don't know if you saw after the match, we'd asked Carlos Humosa about how they'd scored 3 off of set pieces. And instead of it being a case of, okay, the team struggled to score, here's what we're going to do. We're going to try and make use of set pieces. It was more of a reaction to what they expected from El Paso. Carlos Humosa had even said before this match, they're a talented team, but they're not a very big team. They're not very tall. Only a couple guys. I'll let the quote speak for itself here, but Yamosa said after the match last night, "Every week we scout the opponent that we're facing during the weekend, and we knew they don't have a big team. Besides the two center backs, everybody else is under 6 feet. So we saw the opportunity that we could take advantage of this. We have at least 6 guys over 6 feet in our starting lineup on our team, so we were committed, we were disciplined, following the plan of the game." So again, right answer, technically the wrong reason, but it worked out for SAFC. Made really good use of the height that they had, and at least on 2 of those set piece goals, it really was just having a big guy, Suai and then Tainter getting up there above everyone else to head the ball and make things happen.
Here's where I'll push back on that here is El Paso doesn't have height, but they have speed. And we saw that almost cost SAFC a couple of times in each half, where luckily they weren't able to convert, but they had some opportunities where they could have had more than the 2 goals that they had. But Royce already talked about it in the 9th. Tainer wins a header, 1-2 with his own in the midfield, from Tainer, and puts it in the upper right-hand corner. So 2 minutes later, SAFC answers. We got that goal. We ended the scoreless streak. And if you go to Bluish Moon blog at .wordpress.com, under the What to Know, Jonathan Check wrote, SAFC ended a club record scoreless run of 483 minutes, which included 5 full matches with its they ended up scoring 5 goals, but with that 1 goal there, that put that to bed. So for that here, and we didn't do the lineup, but it was Santi, Luke, Nicky, Lucio, Amir, Jorge, Reese, Alexis, Mitch, Nelson Blanco, and Richard. Nelson went straight in on the lineup. They lined up in their 4-4-2 is what they state. And then, of course, they won 5-2, as we talked about here. But moving on into the game here, 22nd minute, free kick lofted in, headed back across by Sohe. And then Hackinson, Luke converted right in front of us to give SanAntonio FC a 2-1 lead. And I think from there, the stadium was rocking.
It was
Yeah. No, that's the next goal.
Yeah, this is the next goal, but I mean, started it.
It was Jorge. He slide tackled it to Jorge.
Yeah,
that was in the 35th minute here. I thought Hawkinson scored that one as well, but it ended up being an own goal. But from where we were sitting, that Luke was right there. So
no, but I thought that too, Royce. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Santi was supposed to get a card when I rewatched it, but I guess it was clean enough.
yeah.
What goals?
Well, if he didn't touch it, Luke was putting it in. So yeah.
Yeah.
By a team that's had a tough time creating dangerous chances.
Yeah. just on Patino there, strong challenge, sure, but referee didn't see anything wrong with it. And as we all know, USL has amazing refs. They never make any questionable calls, no mistakes. So you trust them 110% there.
And interesting you bring that up. More on that later.
But yeah, no, it kind of just shows, and this is something Patino was doing, obviously, even under Alan Marcina, putting the pressure even up there in the final third to win the ball back in those positions. It's really dangerous because all of a sudden El Paso, with not much room behind them, is having to shift from an offensive stance to defensive, and SAFC, even on that goal, it goes in off of Tony Alfaro, I believe it was, from El Paso. But
Yeah.
Simos said after the match, give us, we do deserve some credit for it because we created that giveaway. Jorge sends the cross in. Like it's that pressure, it's that chaos that we caused that led to that goal. And so all of a sudden, the SAFC is not only winning, but winning by 2.
And that is something that we've been missing pretty much this entire season, is that pressure from the front, the press being led from the front. We haven't had that, and it's nice to have that again.
Rafa, we'll try you. Any thoughts from you?
Goals.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Goals.
Yeah, I just don't understand, Rafa, why we pre-show.
Yeah.
We can hear you. Now we can't hear you.
I don't know if
now.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, like I said, that after the first giving up that goal, we came back. You have that's.
It's his internet. I can see it dropping.
Is it his internet or is it a cable? That seems like a cable issue.
That's his
He just
ping.
got a new cable.
Oh no.
My router.
Why not both?
Yeah, I'm having issues with my router.
Yeah, Rafa's having difficulty scoring voice goals like SAFC had done the last 5 games, but we got to give him a new cord or something new, and hopefully we'll solve that problem with 5 straight goals.
So after the half, well, actually there was subs at half, right?
A few, yeah.
That's correct. Omar came on for Lucho Barone, who was on a yellow, and Grieve came on for Santi Patino, who was also on a yellow.
And the reason why we did that is because if you got a red card, it would have carried over to the match versus Mexico that we have. So
yes,
it was more of a productive things for that here, along those lines here.
Are we not going to talk about who they presented during halftime?
Harry doesn't want to.
I know he doesn't want to.
Well,
you said his name.
So,
good job, Harry.
So let's talk about so pregame, the national anthem. Thank you for trying, but it was one of the worst national anthems that I have heard at Toyota Field. For that here, Royce, do you want to tell us about the Texas flag?
What happened?
Yeah, so luckily, sorry, my bad. So peek behind the curtain. I have to find some pictures for my kid's ofrenda that we have to put together tonight, because he waited till the last minute to tell us he needs to put together an ofrenda for tomorrow. Good stuff. But the Texas flag, luckily there wasn't a lot of wind, so you really didn't see it fly out a lot. But the Texas flag was 100% upside down. So, yeah, good stuff. Nice work.
Are we on the poles in the back?
Yes, the big on the big pole next to the city of SanAntonio flag and the American flag. It was white was on the bottom, red was on top. Yeah, not great.
I'm sure there is.
That's crazy.
And then yes, at halftime they had Jordan Farr. They had the fun games. Royce had his son won Jordan Farr's shorts today at the goalkeeper camp. for that here. So Jordan Farr is all over the Royce household and on the SAFC Fancast podcast.
So Rex had a goalkeeper camp today, and he was one of the harder workers out there. So we won a pair of Jordan Farr game worn shorts. So pretty cool. Pretty cool little.
It's pretty cool.
thing.
Don't get me wrong.
Did he sign him?
I got to work on that. I did not take a marker like an idiot, and I didn't think anything of it. So no.
Dude, that's a horrible dad there.
Well, he was signing
Oh,
autographs in our section.
let's settle down.
He snuck over to the section. And
I saw
he was
that.
like-
I know. We didn't we got there, and I didn't see him when we were over there with y'all. But I saw guess it was after the game that he snuck over. Or was that before? It was before.
It was during.
Oh dang! All right, fair enough.
Yeah, it was during, and then for a hot minute there was a line of autographs.
That checks out. I'm not surprised at that at all.
So, but back to the game. 53rd minute, SAFC gets goal number 4. Jorge serves the free kick in, which Nicky, from an odd angle, to me it looked like, just because we were on the opposite side of the field, Nicky put it in pretty clean.
So I saw the replay of this. It was another case of El Paso not covering that far post, and Jorge just put it basically to Nicky's feet at the back post, and it was just clean. Nobody from El Paso was there to claim it, and he put it. It wasn't necessarily clean. It would have gone in either way, but it did go off of a defender who was on the line at the front post to cover the front post. Nobody was there to cover the back post. It went off of him and in, but it was already heading in. So,
all right,
another really nice set piece.
That's a fair point, Sam. It wasn't as bad as Roseanne's, but probably worse than Fergie's. I'll give you that for that here. So, but for an SAFC one, I was hoping it would have been one that got the crowd pumped up, and that one did not. 55th minute, El Paso did the exact opposite what SAFC did in the first half. Scored 2 minutes later. Eric Cavillo plays the ball through Christian Sordo, who got past the defense, was one-on-one with Sanchez, and Christian Sordo, who is a quality player, dislike him personally. Well, not personally, but dislike him as a player. RGV and El Paso scores to make it 4-2. Another defensive mistake by SAFC. Luckily, it didn't cost us. But Royce, your thoughts on the failure of the back line or failure of the midfield?
It's kind of a combination because at this point they had not made the Salim sub to go to the 4-4-2.
Not yet, no.
I think that was a reaction to this because, they kind of went. How do I say that nicely? They went through. There was just a pass that unlocked everybody. The back line was way too high. The midfield was just caught unaware, and it just went through everybody, and it was just a break, a completely unacceptable break, just unlocked by one simple diagonal ball. You just can't have that happen. And like I said, I think as a reaction to that, that's where we'll talk about future subs that happen directly because of this, because it was like, you're up 4-1, we're feeling good. What was it, like a minute later, and now it's 4-2 on just a terrible breakdown. So, I will say the only positive in this, really, props to Yamosa for taking action soon to fix that.
But it wasn't soon, Royce. That's the issue.
No.
It wasn't? Okay,
In the
well.
54th minute. There were 2 subs, which I know was a head scratcher. 72nd minute, Walker came in for Soto.
Yeah.
And Pacheco came in for Nicky, which
Yeah.
that one I understood, but the Walker for Soto, that one was kind of an eye about, it kind of, yeah, I was like, whoa. And it's good for Walker, Landry Walker, don't get me wrong. Good for his development, getting pressure minutes along those lines. But the sub that you're talking about didn't happen until the 85th minute when Salim came in for Luke Atkinson. So almost 30 minutes after, right? 54, 85th.
Pretty much.
Yeah, 30 minutes. So he made the adjustment, but not until after pretty much the game was over for that here. And then in the 86th minute, right after that, Jorge laughs a free kick, and Air Tainter arrives for the second time this year, I believe, according to Jonathan Check's notes for that here, to put the game at 5-1. Everybody was dancing. The Copatejas was staying home. Everybody was happy. Royce was running over to the supporters group as well as everybody else, it sounds like, for that here. So, thoughts on the redemption game? And my thing here is, who is the real SAFC? Is it this or the Frisians 4?
Well, I guess first of all, I'll be more than, well, not happy, but I'm more than willing to pour some cold water on this. I was just thinking maybe 5-10 minutes ago, honestly, 3 goals scored from set pieces, which you can't always, first of all, now that they've said that's an idea they've got, any team that maybe does not tend to have taller players is going to be aware of that, you would think. New Mexico or whoever in the coming weeks, perhaps, if SAFC advances past this weekend. We'll be aware of that and maybe just have a bigger lineup. So all of a sudden, then maybe you're losing out on a few goals there. And SAFC did still concede a couple. So if you take those set piece goals away, it's a 2-2 game. It's a 2-2 draw. And, this was in SanAntonio as well. So it'll be even harder on the road. So at the same time, that still gives you 2 goals. And yeah, one of them was an own goal, but still 2 goals, which is a heck of a lot more than they'd been scoring. I think Royce was kind of clever yesterday to point out how you had a decent number of goals, not a decent number, but, something like 9 goals over the previous 12 games or something like that. And 8 of them came in 2s. So when you take that out, you just have the 1 goal, and it wasn't even from the run of play. So that tells you a lot. But I think it was also, to SAFC's credit, I think Arkellis was saying, those of you who are on SAFC social media, you'll see he'll sometimes talk about how he's seeing it because he's watching, I believe, from Scotland. And he was saying it looked a lot like the players were moving more. And that's, I think, one of the criticisms we've had over the last couple of months is it just feels so stagnant. There's not enough movement, and you allow defenses to just kind of settle in, keep you under wraps. So if SAFC is able to keep that movement going, then they might stand a chance. Who knows? But at the same time, don't look at this scoreline. Don't look at 5-2 and say, oh, it completely changes everything. I even asked Yamosa, and obviously he's saying, oh, yeah, it gives us a lot of confidence. But it is one result. It was SAFC capitalizing on a weakness they saw from El Paso. But at the same time, maybe give them some credit. You now look at New Mexico and say, okay, what are their weaknesses? How can we exploit them? I feel like, especially with SAFC having played them a few times over this year, 3 already, they have a good understanding of New Mexico's philosophy. So at the very least, they're going to be aware of, okay, what are the weaknesses? And they're going to try and adapt to that and exploit them.
And there is a correction that I have to make. Patino did not get a yellow card. So his sub at the 45th minute was not yellow card related.
I could have sworn he got a yellow.
Not according to the USL website.
Wow.
Hawkinson had one at 45-2, and Barone had his, for that here. And the only yellow card in the second half, which I find it extremely hard to believe, was Richard Sanchez's time wasting.
Yeah, the time wasting. That says kind of says a lot about the ref.
That
second half. That second half was much more physical than that first half was, for sure. Wow. I could have sworn Santi got one. for a slide tackle he made in the corner. It was the corner away from us, like right in front of the supporters group. Somebody got a yellow in that corner. I thought it was Santi.
It was no, it was
It was the El Paso player.
it was El Paso player.
Oh, okay. See, I thought it was Santi that got it.
He
Okay,
should have
fair
gone
enough.
to red.
Be-
Because
See,
that should have. He did 2 fouls. He should. For the ref warned him.
was it
Yeah.
the short? Was it the short dude?
Yeah.
Because the short dude didn't. He didn't get a yellow from that. He was
Yeah, he
already
did.
on a yellow. He was
Oh, yeah.
already on a
That
yellow.
that
He
should
should have
been
got a second one for that corner. I thought it was somebody else got a yellow. It wasn't that dude. I thought because it was a free kick for El Paso, I thought it was for Santi, but I guess I don't know. I okay. All right. That's news to me though. I could have sworn he got one, but
Yeah, well, we
Yeah.
talked about. We thought he did, but I was just going back. I have it up here, and according to the USL official page here, he does not have a yellow. So
I don't even know why I opened my mouth. You're right, absolutely. He never got a yellow. He's a beautiful boy. well behaved. We love our beautifully behaved Santi Patino.
But it is a question of why they subbed him out if he didn't get a
I
yellow.
think health.
Because he got injured not long ago in Colorado. I don't think they wanted to risk him getting hurt. We already had the lead. Same thing with Soto. We know we're going to go in the playoffs. We're at least going to draw, so we know we're going to get in the playoffs. Why risk it? Which, speaking of, real quick, let me just take this over for 2 seconds. I feel so bad for Lexington fans. Oh my goodness. They played the worst team in our division, Oakland. All they had to do was either beat or draw Oakland, and they're in the playoffs. They lost 3-0 to Oakland. They got played off the field, and all they had to do was win. And they made some big signings as well. One that I thought SAFC was going to make, and they missed the playoffs. Crazy.
You know what it is? They had Darren Powell in their system for a year or two.
No.
Where did SAFC end up 3 of the first 4 years? Missing out on the playoffs on that last day.
No, if you want to,
I know, but it's still lingering that just barely missing it on the last day. That's what it is. No, I mean,
or was it the Kendall Burks curse? Whoa, or was it the Marcus Epps curse? Whoa.
No. I mean, I'm saying 3 times out of those first 4 years under Powell, SAFC could have made those playoffs and missed out at the last moment.
Damn, dude, that RGV game where we lost and we should have made the playoffs. I still have nightmares about that. We're up 2-0 and we lost 3-2.
And I'm going to give you another correction. Vegas and Monterey Bay finished worse than the Roots.
Fair.
But speaking of playoffs, since obviously we clinched
playoff
bracket, it's Tulsa switchbacks, so the defending champs against Tulsa.
Ironically, matchup that happened last night as well in Tulsa.
Yes.
Which
Tulsa won 3-0, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Locomotive and Rising. Sacramento OC. And New Mexico and San Antonio OC. So we are what? Haven't beat them in 3 games. If you count for this year here, can a team win 4 straight against there? And I know the other things here. Fernando says, Matt, thanks, bro, for letting my family in Section 112 be there when Copatejas was passed in your section here. So nice job, Matt. And for that here. Out east, Louisville, Detroit City. Don't sleep on Detroit City. I'm not calling for the upset, but they typically play well in big games. Pittsburgh without Lily Ball versus Hartford. Kind of interesting in a 4-5.
What?
North Carolina, Loudoun through there. And Charleston and Rhode Island. Rhode Island with the huge upset last year of Charleston. Can they do it again? Did you say what, Royce?
No, he was talking about something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. I left my mic on. My bad. Whoops.
What?
So everybody, cross your fingers. That's all I gotta say. Light your candles, cross your fingers.
For what?
I mean, if
for you to stop being sick.
No, well, that too. But if
On it.
we win and if Orange County wins, we host.
Correct.
Right. And if
Light your candles, cross your fingers.
if that happens, there's also a possibility that we host the semifinal if Colorado Springs ends up running that part of the bracket as well.
Colorado Springs isn't running that part of the bracket.
They're the defending champs, so let's not put it past them.
Defending champs, but at the bottom of the board.
Okay, guys, we're at the regular season's over. The standings are set. We don't. This is something I see a lot at the end of the season. Oh well, we make the playoffs. If this result goes this way and this way, you know what needs to happen for SAFC to host Orange County as well? It needs to beat New Mexico. Its own match. That's happening too. Did you guys know that match is happening?
No.
Yeah, that's what I said. Light your candles and cross your fingers.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that we're talking about all these, oh, well, if the Switchbacks run that side of the table and
so
if Orange County wins, I'm like, SAFC needs to win.
You don't think
SAFC
is going to beat New Mexico?
That's the fun. That's the fun of getting into the playoffs. You get to have fun having predictions on scenarios and not being a complete fuddy-duddy. You must be real fun at parties, John Check. J-Check, Jesus Christ.
Hey, what's the record in playoffs, Jonathan? Everybody's 0-0.
Yeah, and SAFC said as much. It's one-off games, sure. But, I mean, this isn't even about form necessarily. This is just about you guys focusing on other matches. Like, you know what? I would laugh my butt off if Orange County were to win, and all of a sudden you're saying, oh, SAFC can host them. Oh, except it lost to New Mexico. Focus on the match that concerns your team. Don't worry about anything else. Just win the match in front of you.
Win, baby, win. Boys, I got to get out of here. I got to help this kid with his homework. Go. Thanks for having me on. Enjoyed talking to y'all as always. Thanks for listening.
One other thing.
Everyone out there listening. What's up?
One other thing. Did you want to say anything about Shannon Gomez and his 100th appearance?
Yeah, I mean, so we talked about Agudelo retiring. Shannon Gomez as well had his 100th appearance with the club. That's a really cool thing, and I hope that's something he holds dear. Not a lot of guys get to hit that milestone with the club professionally. That's super cool. Yeah, I mean, one of the stalwarts for our championship.
With a dog.
Kind of a club favorite, a city favorite, and a lot of people really love him here in town. So really cool. But I'm out. Thanks for having me. Good night. We'll see y'all. Go SAFC into the playoffs.
No, we're not talking about SAFC. This isn't an SAFC podcast, right, Jonathan? Matt, any thoughts on the playoffs? Only about SAFC, because that's all we can talk about.
Don't take your eye off the ball, boys. That's all I'm saying.
Stay optimistic. Hopefully, we can do what we need to do, and like I said, we gotta light your candles and cross your fingers. See what we can do. No, it's a pump. My dog's right here.
Rafa, we'll test your internet. Anything you got for the playoffs before we go to final thoughts, and we'll get out at around 45, 50 minutes?
All I gotta say is that New Mexico owes it. Remember a few years ago they came in, they stole one from us. I think this is a perfect opportunity to steal one back from them. Like I said, the pressure's on New Mexico. It's not on us. We're not expected to win, and I think the players need to realize that. And I think the last time we played over there, we played them well until we got that red card.
That red card, yep.
Yeah, pretty much kind of it was pretty much a debacle. So, and we didn't have Santi the last time too. Those couple. We'll see. Yeah. That's. I mean, he's Mr. October. I mean,
it's going to be November though.
Yeah, October, November. Yeah. So, Mr. Fall Classic, I guess you can say, but he's
playoffs.
he's the one to kind of gonna keep an eye on. I think he's gonna give him fits on their defense. But like I said, I think the players have got to remember I'm sure Tanner was there for that heartbreak. So some of the players remember back, they owe us one. They stole one from us. This is the best time to steal one right back, and we'll see what happens there. But you got to take it one game at a time. You can't just look.
So, and for that is Saturday, November 1st, 8 p.m., Isotopus Park in New Mexico. Question is, will be Mike, Ginny, and Jonathan be making the trek back to New Mexico or not?
It'll be cold.
I've been asked if I'm going to go, and I'll have to see if I can make it over there.
I mean, if you're thinking about it, look at tickets really quickly because New Mexico tends to have good attendances and playoffs, even higher demand. So
That's true.
I think, I mean, my parents bought their tickets earlier today. They made it sound like they were already having to get a little compromise a bit on their seats. So if you're gonna do it, Harry, hop on it.
Yeah, I'm not.
So weather report over there. So they're gonna have a low of 46.
Oh,
It's gonna be chilly. It's gonna be chilly.
Yes, fall
It's gonna be chilly
weather
over there. Yep.
I dig it.
Keep that in mind. Check out the long john.
I might want to try to see if we can do either some sort of watch party somewhere. I'm assuming SAFC is probably going to have one at the Rock. No,
Maybe 8
No.
p.m. at night.
It's a bowling alley. I don't know which one.
Bolero. I think San Pedro.
It's between Pinstack and Bolero. I don't know which one.
Oh, that's where they're having it. Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
Look at Mr. Rankin.
Hey, how'd your Vikings look, man? The Broncos look pretty impressive. Not everybody can be elite like the Broncos. But,
See, and I can't even say anything because they're at the top of my division.
Although as a Bronco fan, I won't lie to you, I'm like, okay, when are we going to start to fall back for that here? So we kind of talked about playoffs a little bit here. I might see if I can reach out to the New Mexico guys here. Spurs playing same night. I don't know.
I don't think so. Oh, I can't look. My phone's right here.
Robert, I thought this was a soccer show. Yeah, well.
Yeah, I find myself saying that every week. There is not a Spurs game that night, by the way.
And the good thing UTSA plays Thursday night too.
Oh, let's not talk about UTSA right now because it's a little bit rough. Although, to my dear friends up in Texas State, your season hasn't gone as well as you thought it was going to be after beating UTSA either. So, yeah.
You could be Brian.
At least we beat UTSA.
Yeah, you can beat Brian Kelly without a job.
Yeah, if they can keep throwing games away right at the end, because the last 3 have been relatively close, but little mistakes, fine margins, 3 losses. Do better.
UTSA on
Clean
national TV, say a prayer. I actually think UTSA will step up for this game. I think this is the one game that they do step up because their other big games are on the road. But I think at home, Thursday night, I do think it'll be there. Although there is a lot of we talk about Spurs Twitter not being great when things aren't well. UTSA Twitter is through there, and then let's talk about the UTSA basketball team that lost to UIW in the men's basketball. So it could be a rough winter season for if you're fans of the UTSA men's football and men's basketball. The ladies on basketball should be pretty good for that here. And yes, I did see UTSA women's clinch the spot in the AAC conference tourney, which is a big deal for UTSA as a program. And the American conference is a good conference when it comes to women's soccer for that as well. Final thoughts. We'll go to you, Matt. Then Oh, and I do want to give shout out to Matt for including the Crocketeers, James Hope, and others on the Copatejas. So that's a lot of class from FTC and 210 Alliance. I know it means a lot to James and Stephen and Danielle. And thank you to Stephen and Danielle for all that you guys do for Copatejas along those lines here. But Matt, your final thoughts, and then we'll try Rafa, and then we'll do Jonathan, and then we'll get out of here.
Uh, just thanks for everybody who showed up last night. I know it was kind of hectic. If your snot's black, sorry. They wanted to pop so many smokes at once. Uh, it was a great game. I probably don't remember much, but it was a hell of a game. Uh, just just the plan was, and like I posted it out there, the plan was me and Mario, who would represent our individual groups, 210 Alliance and FTC. We said we're going to hand it off to James and let him lift the trophy and give the Crocketeers their flowers, basically. So, and that was the plan. That was the whole reason I kept not fighting, not to say the word fighting, but pushing for the trophy to be celebrated in the supporter section. That way, all of us can support, show that respect towards the Crocketeers, and it's not just the co-founders or the presidents of the groups. It it goes to the supporters as a whole. Um, like I said all the time, I preached it to the guys. I preached it to each group. Uh, it's not just FTC out there. It's not just 210. It's not just the Crocketeers. We all do a part of it. We all have our own piece of the pie. So my biggest thing was to celebrate as a whole, to also give that commemorative to the Crocketeers. Uh, I did my best because my voice was shot after at the end of the game to try to start a Crocketeers chant, but it worked out. It worked for a little bit. Then someone switched it, and then I tried it again, and then it stuck for like maybe 20 seconds. But it was great, and I want to give also a shout out to Jordan Favre for stopping by and giving kudos to all the fans and all the supporter groups. Um, freaking Sam. Anyways, uh, and then also, yeah, just like I said, guys, we're gonna come back with more stuff next year. Hopefully, we get a little bit more organized to boost up everybody to want to be part of the supporter group. But yeah, thank you, James. Thank you, Crocketeers, for everything y'all have done. Without y'all, I wouldn't open the doors for the Casuals, Mission City Firm, Venno, uh, and now FTC and 210 Alliance and the Gardeners. It wouldn't have been open for us without the Crocketeers. Uh, and like I said, oh, and then a big shout out to Cesspool from the Houston Dynamo for showing up. He wanted to hang out with us, and I made sure it happened. So, big shout out to the Surge and all the guys out there for letting me use him for some good chants. But yeah, great game, great victory. Let's just, like I said, light your candles, cross your fingers. I wanna see how far we can get. I know we're not promised a chip, but hey, our new coach made playoffs, and that's what matters the most right now.
Rafa?
Yeah, any beer shark complaints about area? Just final thoughts. Good win. Good. Like I said, they had to redeem themselves after bad games. Glad they went out there fight. They went fighting. If you're gonna go out fighting, not on a whimper. So they found a way. Can they keep this? In the next round, like I said, get some revenge against Mets. The experience first last night was great. Being out there, we had fun. Like I said, it was good energy, player and fans and all that. Uh, just kind of hopefully you must have liked his flag. I did give him a little flag. Saw the new tifo. So yeah, they're kind of debuted that for him. But like I said, we can recognize the hard work he's done. I know he's gone through some adversity, but he's still our profe. Like I said, kudos to him. His first season, playoffs. Like I said, he had some big shoes to fill. I mean, that's no ifs, ands, but
Shout out to Coach Kano. Anybody join Michael Wilbon and watch some MLS playoffs this weekend? No, I have not, and probably Michael Wilbon has not either. But shout out to Coach Kano and the 50/50 podcast. They recently had a good show. You can also check them out on YouTube as well at the 50/50 podcast. They do a lot of great soccer, high school, college shows here. Rafa will be on there. I know we're 30 days away?
yeah,
Maybe even less than that. Well, probably around 30 days.
there.
Or no, 60 days from official action for that here of high school soccer. I know AJ's getting excited. His club soccer portion of the season's winding down. Jonathan, your final thoughts for that here before you make the trek to New Mexico, and then hopefully back home, and then hopefully you get to go to Louisville if that's there.
It's a long way away. It's similar to what I said earlier. Focus on the game
That's
in
why
front
I
of you.
said that.
Just because, I mean, this is our daily reminder that Harry likes to push people's buttons. Anyway, yeah, so I think everyone was probably a little apprehensive going into last night's match, given the form SAFC had been in. And, don't get me wrong, there were some good moments, or maybe some slightly brighter moments, slightly less dark moments on the trip. But we're not getting the results, we're not getting the goals, so it was a little nervy. And then out of nowhere, SAFC does what it needs to do, capitalizes on its chances, capitalizes on a weakness they saw in El Paso, and wins 5-2. All of a sudden, okay, it sparked the season back into life, got SAFC into the playoffs. And like you guys alluded to earlier, it starts scoreless. Anyone can win any game. What matters is what happens on the night. We've seen pretty much every year in the USL upsets happen consistently, even, 8th seed beating 1st seed, that kind of thing. So it's possible. Just focus on the game in front of you, though. Try not to get ahead of yourself. Try not to be plotting what you're going to be doing the week after, because SAFC has to get the job done itself, and that's easier said than done. I will also say, doing kind of a pivot here, it's not even necessarily a plug, but I put out earlier today on social media. So for the Cup.us,
Yes.
for anyone who knows, US Open Cup coverage, very, it's fan-driven, grassroots. They're covering even the qualifying rounds of the tournament. And because I'm going to New Mexico, I can't cover a match next Sunday night that's going to be in Cibolo. I actually was not able to cover a match while we were away on our other trip as well for the last couple weeks. So there were a few different writers in the San Antonio area, but we all have our various conflicts. So Josh Hakala, who runs the Cup.us, is looking for someone to cover the match in Cibolo. I don't necessarily remember the teams off the top of my head, but it's not too difficult. If you want to give it a shot, if you're interested in it, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to the Cup.us. At the bare minimum, he just wants updates of the major events happening in the match. So basically, any goals, any red cards, halftime and full-time scores, that's the bare minimum. And then if you can do sort of a recap of just a couple paragraphs, it's not asking too much. And there are a lot of these qualifying matches, so he doesn't necessarily want a full recap for every single one of them, but just a little bit to describe what happened. So if anyone's interested in that, reach out to me, reach out to the Cup.us, because the few of us in San Antonio just keep having conflicts and are not able to help him out, unfortunately.
Yes, I've done it. It's not very hard. I'll have to check see if my schedule if it's available or not. But my final thoughts, like I said here, playoffs come and go real quick, and then the off-season news turns around. So there's really no off-season for USL. If you follow the league for that here. But for me, like I said here, just like I said here, just enjoy these moments because playoffs. What we've been through. What this is what the fifth time SAFC has been in the playoffs. Sixth time, somewhere around there. I think six. For that here. Sometimes they go deep, but a lot of times they're very short. And especially where this is a away match, go out, support. If there is a SAFC watch party, go out and support with the fellow fans. Especially the reason why I suggest that, if for the playoffs, if we can turn out and show good numbers and support us of SAFC, it encourages SAFC to do this more in the future. Not for other big matches, not just through here. So just support. I know SAFC has playoff merch on sale for that here with the new shirt as well. But just try to take care of each other. Just try to support each other. Unlike Jonathan, some of us that can expand more than just the SAFC mind frame here. You can look at multiple rounds for that here and try to map it out. I will. And for Robert, we do talk about NFL a little bit. We talk about world soccer. Go Broncos. They own the Cowboys for that here. So sorry, Rafa. But what's life?
Our secondary is hurt, so
Oh yeah,
you have a bad owner too.
Well, it's injuries, right? For that here. So, but yeah, but the Broncos ran on them as well. But I got to get out before Jonathan hits me.